Hello and welcome back to another episode of Star Wars in a Galaxy, another bracket stream of Star Wars in a Galaxy. I'm Eli.
I'm Jacob.
And we're so excited to have the bracket streams back after like a year, I think it is now.
It's been a while.
It's been quite a while. We're excited to have new guests doing this. And what I'm extra excited about is that the winner of this bracket stream, if it is not one of us, and if it isn't one of us, we'll figure this out later. We'll invite them back to do a bracket stream in the future with the winners of our other bracket streams. That would be Marie Wilson, that would be Andrew Geha, and that would be Jared the Dark Jedi. Are the last three winners of our bracket streams, and who have gotten their episodes in this case to win, or scenes. But today we're not talking about episodes or scenes. We're talking about Star Wars seasons of television, and we got some great people arguing about all of these great seasons of Star Wars television. There's 17 seasons we're looking at in total, from the Clone Wars, from Rebels, from the Bad Batch, from the Mandalorian, from the Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Andor. We're stopping at Andor. We're not doing Bad Batch 2 because that season's still going on, or Mando season 3 because obviously we can't judge what we haven't watched. But without further ado, let's see. I'll share the bracket as soon as we have everybody in, but do we want to just start bringing people in, Jacob?
Yeah, do it. Go for it.
Okay, great. So first joining us from Talking Bay 94, we have Brandon and Maggie. We're so excited for them to join us. We met very briefly at Celebration. And I was like, they probably wouldn't be interested in doing this. And then they were, and I'm very excited that they agreed.
Thank you very much for having us. Sorry that this is any tweets that you've seen from In a Galaxy that have been like, hey, bracket's coming, and then it got delayed is because of me. I take full responsibility. But these guys have been really flexible, really great. So appreciate you having us on, and we're excited. Now a lot of pressure. Your intro. Now I'm a pressure to win.
I was just told there was opportunity to try to.
I was just gonna vibe. I was just gonna vibe, but now it's like now it's pressure. But it's fine. What we gotta do.
I will say the funniest thing is I think three of us in the process of getting this stream to go have lost our voices because you did, Jacob did, and now I have. Even though you probably can't hear it, so I think this was cursed from the start, but we do what we can.
Yeah.
And
now.
also.
We made it.
We made it. Also from Boga's Cantina and just generally a great presence in this community. We have Sean Room here.
Hey everybody.
Going on. So yeah, I think it's just gonna be five of us instead of the normal six. And here's our. Let me see if I can share my screen and if I can show the bracket. There's one play-in round. Very brief. You're gonna have 45 seconds to do this, but here it is. The first play-in bracket is going to be Book of Boba Fett Season 1 versus Clone Wars Season 1, which is going to be, I'm arguing for Book, and Brandon's arguing for Clone Wars Season 1. So I think, yeah, just I'm going to just do it top down, so I'll go first. Jacob, can you time me?
Yeah, 45 seconds.
45 seconds
on the
each.
Clock, ready when you are.
And then Maggie, Sean, and Jacob will vote on which one should advance, basically. Okay. Good. All right, here we go. Let's do this.
Ready when you are.
Okay, go. The Book of Boba Fett is a highly underrated season of Star Wars television. We get to see the complete transformation of Boba Fett from a hired gun to choosing his own destiny, along with incredible sequences like the Boba Fett's fire spray starship, bombing the Sarlacc, to the face down with Cad Bane, to other great moments informing us of things going on in the galaxy, like Luke and Ahsoka talking, like seeing what's going on with Din the Mandalorian and the mod parlor, and there's so many great settings and sequences in the show.
In the interest of keeping this moving, I gotta call time there, Eli.
Yeah, no, totally.
Well done.
If you go a few seconds over, it's fine. But
yeah.
No, disqualified.
We just want to make sure we're not here for like.
What?
I mean, we could be here for 4 hours probably.
Yeah,
We can reach consensus.
Single season, we could go 4 hours probably.
We'll go unlock the door. People are coming over for the Oscars, so we'll just let them in, and we have snacks already set out, so they'll be fine.
All right. Brandon, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Start the
All
clock.
right.
Go.
Ready when you are.
Clone Wars season 1. If you think about how important that first season is, some people like to clown on it, right? Oh, it sounds good. It gets good third season, blah, blah, whatever. But think about every character that you care about that is now important in Star Wars, right? Cad Bane starts Clone Wars season 1, right? You have Rise of Maleficent, you have the hostage crisis, you have the Ryloth arc, you have the Rookies episode, one of the best Clone Wars episodes. Really just fantastic, important Star Wars that we are still seeing the effects of today. I'll end my time there. That's all you need. Clone Wars season 1, important.
All right, fair
Okay,
enough. Ending it there.
About 10 seconds to go. I can time for everybody, but myself, Jacob.
Okay,
cool. So, Sean, Maggie, and Jacob, what are you thinking? Which one are you going with?
Which one are you thinking, Maggie?
Well, Eli, I'm sorry. You had a great look.
He's gonna betray me again. This is what we're looking at.
It's
He's
good
gonna
because she'll probably
look,
betray me, so
look,
it'll be
this
good.
is-
I will. I'll go ahead and
This
put my
is-
vote out. I'm betraying Brandon.
Okay, well, I'm betraying my co-host.
Yeah,
Put that out there.
that sounds about right. He
Season
steals
1
that every
Clone
chance he
Wars.
gets.
It's highly underrated. I think it's highly underrated. I think Ambush
Really?
is one of the best episodes of Star Wars TV. I can't say enough good things about it. And yeah, underrated
Yeah,
season.
because it was me complaining throughout our season about how cruddy the animation was. That was definitely me, Jacob.
Hey,
That was-
it adds to the appeal. Okay, I know it's cruddy, and I love it. It adds to the appeal. I
Thank
know
you.
I complained about it, but I reserve the right to be a hypocrite because I think it just makes it all the more delightful.
All sweeter.
Well, I have no problem with Book of Boba Fett, Eli, but I will say I think that legacy-wise, what it started, the points that Brandon touched on, I got to give it to Clone Wars season 1.
we did a 2-hour stream, people. We did a 2-hour stream about this.
I
Okay,
feel
I see
good.
how it
What a
is.
good way to start. Thank you for the tiebreaker. Even though Maggie's betraying me, but it's good. We're doing good.
Yeah. So the Clone Wars season 1 advances. It will be facing the Mandalorian season 1 in the
No.
next round. So it's gonna be wow. That's crazy. So in the round 1, the only people that Maggie and Brandon are going to be facing are each other.
Uh-oh. Also, is it
You did this
possible
on
for us to
purpose.
see the bracket?
This
in
bracket is
between-
rigged. It's fine. It's
in
good.
between
Yeah. Let me.
rounds?
I'll pull it up after the play-in round. Give me a second. I went to the wrong tab. Here it is. After the play-in round, here's where we stand. So there's book, and Clone Wars season 1, and so now we have this. I think we should probably just go to Mando and TCW season 1 now.
Let's do it.
So, Maggie, I think you're up first for the Mandalorian season 1.
All right. I will only refer to Grogu as Baby Yoda for the duration of this argument, out of respect for the era. The grip that this season had on the cultural zeitgeist, Baby Yoda, and This Is the Way, unmatched in non-film Star Wars history. Every time Baby Yoda uses the Force, iconic. You think it's going to be an old person, and it's a baby. Iconic. End.
That's it.
Yes.
All right.
The Baby Yoda gambit. I respect it.
The
that's-
Baby Yoda
that's
gambit.
Cheap shots early.
It's the only shot you need.
No, because I have. Okay, you can start the clock because I've. Or can I ask my question before we start the clock?
Oh, you want to? Okay, go.
Do you count Clone Wars movie as part of
No.
season 1?
Oh,
Okay, no, that was good. That was an immediate no. I respect the not thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna go. What's his name? What's Stinky's real name?
Rada.
the
I was
Hutt.
gonna
Hutlet.
play the baby Yoda, baby Jabba against each
Sorry.
other, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I will
That-
die on this hill. Rada walked so Baby Yoda could run. Without
Amen.
Rada, there would be no
I feel like
Grogu.
this is interference.
No, it's
We-
fine.
we-
I-
This is
No,
interference.
no, it's
I'm
okay.
calling a flag.
Well,
It is-
no,
I
because
like-
you can't use TCW film anyway.
I
and
can't
Rada
use it.
doesn't
And the number
appear in-
16 seed coming into this, it's okay. Like, let me just.
All
let me
right,
just do it like
go.
Okay. Think about every clone you love. Think about every element of Clone Wars that you love, right? And you're like, oh, I wonder when that was introduced. Clone Wars season 1. That's when it was, right? So who cares about Baby Yoda? Screw Baby Yoda. Think about all the
He
little
went
clones.
there.
And everyone's like,
He
oh,
went
look at my
there.
favorite clone. Clone Wars season 1. Cad Bane. Hostage crisis. That's it.
Screw Baby Yoda. You heard it here first.
Clip it out.
Ladies
Clip it
and
out.
gentlemen.
Shift that.
Clip this out. Screw Baby Yoda. So no, this one's a tough one.
Is it?
I think either of you, Jacob, Sean, either of you.
I know what I'm gonna say.
This is a tough
I will
one.
tolerate no Baby Yoda slander in this house. I gotta go with Mando.
Look, Baby Yoda. I love Baby Yoda as much as the next guy. I'm not getting involved in the Baby Yoda slander, but for the legacy, for what it brought to Star Wars, and just because it's some really, really darn good TV, I'm going with season 1 of the Clone Wars.
Wow.
So how the turntables? I'm here to break the tie now, and it's tough because both these seasons are good. They're not among my favorites. I like them both extremely for what they are, but it's the Clone Wars season 1.
Holy shit. Sorry, can I curse on this?
Yeah.
I feel great. That's
Wow.
incredible. I won't play my hand till later, but wow.
Yeah,
What an upset. What a Cinderella story.
TCW season 1 takes that one, but don't worry because we're not
The Intergalaxy
out
voting
of.
wins again.
Yeah, what's TCW going against next? I'm so nervous. What else can I say?
Yeah.
It's going to go up against either the winner of this next one, which is Jacob is arguing for Star Wars Rebels season 4. And I am arguing for my favorite season of my favorite season of Star Wars animated television, Star Wars: The Clone Wars season 6.
Oh, that's not fair, man. All right.
I don't know, honestly. There are great arguments to be made for both. But Jacob, you want to start with Rebel season 6?
Yeah.
Rebel season 4.
Right. I wish I could be talking about Rebels season 6 right now. Trust me, I really wish we got 2 more seasons of absolute peak TV glory. Trust me.
Yeah, we get it.
okay.
You like Rebels.
Yeah. Yes, I like Rebels. Yes. Shocker. Okay. So Rebels season 4. Look what Rebels has grown into in its final season. The heroes of Mandalore. Sabine returning to her home world. Saving her father. Amazing quality animation. Yes, it has good animation. Saw Gerrera makes another appearance. He forces the rebellion to question its own soul. Thrawn is back. He's just as menacing and genius as ever. Caught up in Imperial infighting, trying to promote his TIE Defender project. We get Force-sensitive Loth Wolves. I mean, come on. We see a whole new side of Lothal. We see its history. Ezra leads the Ghost Crew on a desperate rescue of Hera in one of the most harrowing, intense Star Wars moments ever. Kanan Jarrus has an amazing and heartbreaking end to his story. I mean, come on, Jedi Knight. Are you serious? The emotional realness and the grit that we get to see watching the crew recover, work through this loss, and honor his legacy, it's nothing short of extraordinary.
Time.
Oof.
Okay, Jacob, you got timer ready?
I got the timer ready whenever you are.
Okay. In the most introspective and reflective season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, season 6 is all about the emotional conflicts between our characters. We get to see the conspiracy leading up to Order 66. We get to see Yoda having an introspective journey through the Force with himself and facing his greatest fears and his greatest trials. We get to see the deterioration of the relationship between Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala. We get to see a really fun Indiana Jones style adventure in the Disappeared arc. Overall, it's just such a fun and balanced arc that I think like its name, the Lost Missions, often gets forgotten about because of the Titans standing by it, season 5 and season 7. But even though it's only a 13 episode season, it carries as much of the punch as the season before and after. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. 2 heavy hitters.
Yeah, it's tough. I think I'm gonna go Rebels. I gotta go Rebels.
All right. All right.
My boy Thrawn. Any season Thrawn's in, just kind of.
Yeah, Clone Wars.
Thrawn's the man.
Oh.
I have to go Rebels
What?
as well.
I was not expecting to come out of this. I was not expecting Rebels to come out of this one on top.
Honestly,
Oh,
I
man.
was. I
Really?
was.
Kanan-
I'm not the Lost missions. I'm so glad they existed. I was so happy when they put them up. It's just like you were saying. I think there's a very good point where it's like it does get forgotten between those two, and it's unfair because they're very good, but I don't think they're like
Yeah.
Well,
No,
the Order 66
I
arc
honestly
is
totally
incredible. The
expected this
Yoda
to
stuff is
happen.
great.
yeah.
Because we are a Star Wars. This show somehow is a Star Wars Rebels superfan magnet. We just seem to attract them everywhere we go. And one of our co-hosts definitely agrees with that, and the other less so. Not that I hate Rebels, because I don't. Okay, next one. We're back to Rebels again. Season 3. Sean's arguing for season 3, and let's see, what's the next one? Oh, actually, that's not true about the. Maggie and Brandon are only facing each other. Maggie's getting her first argument chance for this one. Bad Batch, season 1.
Actually,
Rebels.
Brandon is such a fan of Bad Batch season 1 that he convinced me to let him have this argument. So
Okay, I can do it.
Okay.
I started.
It's Bad Batch season 1 and Rebels season 3.
Yeah. So it's gonna be Brandon instead.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Cool. I just wanted to update it. So, Sean, when you're ready.
Yeah. So Rebel season 3 obviously takes the show in a different direction. We have a little bit of an a time jump. Ezra's older. Things get a little bit darker. We've got some beautiful interaction with Maul and him thinking that he's, the master to Ezra. I will say we get a glimpse of what's happening on Geonosis and building the Death Star, and need I say more than twin suns? We get the culmination of Maul's story, the confrontation with Obi-Wan, the best duel in animation. I said it, and then we get Thrawn all over the place in 0 Hour and the formal formation of the Rebel Alliance. That's where I'll rest.
Okay. All right, Brandon.
All right, start the clock. Here's the thing, and I'll set this up. I was not a big Bad Batch guy, right? We'll talk about Clone Wars season 7, and I was like, oh, I get it. It's like little tropes, like it's all the little boys. It's fine. But by the end of Bad Batch season 1, I care so much about these people that I was like blown away. I was like, why do I care? Who are these people that are now in my life? People talk about filler episodes, people talk about whatever, but the actual character development of Bad Batch season 1 is unparalleled in Star Wars. Like, there's really no amount of time that we've spent with any characters that is like that, and it's really great. And then you think about all the extra characters we've learned about, everything that we learned and everything that grew within that season, and then you get the kicker at the end with Mount Tatnus. Incredible. Mount Tatnus, I rest my case.
I'm so freaking excited to see what they're doing with that in this season. Yeah, Tantus is like so intriguing.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that would be Maggie, Jacob. Do you have ideas? I think I might have mine.
I mean, I know where my vote. I will say, I also when I first watched the Bad Batch, I wasn't the hugest fan of it, but Eli and I, when we rewatched it for the In a Galaxy for the podcast earlier this year, I was like, man, this is great. I don't know what I was missing the first time. Like, there's great character development. It's really excellent. It's just not as excellent as season 3 of Star Wars Rebels. That's where my vote is. I couldn't do it any other way.
Maggie, do you have your idea, or do you want me to go?
yeah, I hate to give Brandon any credit, but I've got to go with Bad Batch for this one.
Thanks, Maggie.
So, if this were season 2 of the Bad Batch, it would be a different story. But it's Rebels. It's season 3 of Rebels.
There.
It like for me, like, I love Bad Batch season 1, but Rebels season 3 is like some of the best stuff that show's done. And what gets me about Rebels season 3 is like I was talking about this with, actually, I think Sean, I was talking with you about this a little bit the other day about like the season 3 trailer. of like how much crazy stuff we saw in that, and they delivered on every single one. It wasn't just like, oh, this is cool. They delivered on every single one. The Thrawn stuff, the Twin Sun stuff, all that kind of stuff. They delivered on every like thing that we gawked at in the trailer, and I think that's extremely impressive. We have Sean's going up again, Star Wars: The Clone Wars Season 4, and I'm doing what I consider, at least in my opinion, to be the best single season of Star Wars television, which is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Wow. Okay.
So, Sean, whenever you're ready.
Yeah. So season 4, Clone Wars, it's got some of the best arcs in the show. I think some of the most visually impressive. We start off with the Water War, a whole underwater arc, which is just still to this day blows me away. I love that. We also get the Umbara arc, which I think is one of the most impactful for the clone storyline. We get to know some of the clones more. Pong Krell, I know he's a divisive character, but where would Clone Wars be without him? We get the kidnapped arc with them fighting slavers. Always love to see that. And then also we get some great stuff where Obi-Wan goes undercover as a bounty hunter in the box. I personally love that arc. I'm not sure other people do, but and then it closes out with Maul.
All right, Jacob, you ready to put my timer on?
Ready when you are. Start them off.
In one of the greatest character studies we've ever gotten in Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi is forced to confront his past and also potentially the future ahead of him. Moses Ingram, Ewan McGregor, and Hayden Christensen have some of the best performances we've seen in live-action Star Wars television. The lightsaber duels are intense and emotional, and it's a rollicking adventure that does really feel like the episode 3.5 that it was sold as. There is not a single moment for me in Obi-Wan Kenobi that doesn't deserve where it is. And the fact that they were able to capture this poignant of a story in 6 episodes is a really impressive achievement. I think that's all I need.
Perfect.
All right. So on the right side of the screen is who's voting. So
I'm gonna go Clone Wars Season 4.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do.
Yeah, I'm an Obi-Wan girly.
I'm going Kenobi too.
All right.
Get out of here, Clone Wars. Get out.
The votes don't lie.
Let's see if Jacob wait, am I doing another one in this round? No, I'm not. Yeah, Jacob has successfully voted against me every single time. Yeah, that makes sense.
I love it. I love the drama. I
promise you it's not on purpose, Eli.
Yeah, it is. You don't have to lie. Yeah.
It's just business, bro.
Okay.
Business.
Next we have Sean and Jacob. The Clone Wars Season 2, Rebels Season 2.
Oh, all right.
Jacob, Sean, you're up first. All right, go.
Yeah, you could say a lot about this season. We get some great introductions to the whole Mandalore arc, which sets off everything that we've gotten since then. The greatest parts of the Clone Wars and the Mandalorian, what we're currently getting in the Mandalorian. That is sort of the introduction of the Darksaber, for example. That stuff is all great. There's some great stuff with Grievous, the second battle of Geonosis. But my personal favorite moment is when Obi-Wan tells Satine that he would have left the order for Satine had she said the words. Those cemented Obi-Wan as the best character in the franchise for me personally. So I have to throw that out there. I think this is a highly, highly underrated season. And yeah.
All right. Jacob, go ahead.
Season 2 of Rebels starting things off. We get one of the most downright terrifying and hard-hitting appearances of Darth Vader in the Siege of Lothal. We see Captain Rex return. We see Ahsoka return. Ezra develops more. We get some really, really good, intimate, emotional looks at all these characters. We have adventures with Hondo. And then Ahsoka, she has an absolutely amazing showdown in the future of the Force with the Inquisitors. And can we forget about the finale of this show? I mean, come on. Ahsoka, Ezra, Kanan, Maul, the Inquisitors, Darth Vader, an ancient Sith temple. What more do you want? It's freaking incredible. We have this amazing, amazing reunion. Ahsoka, Vader. It's just incredible, and it's the perfect
Time.
capstone for an amazing season.
Let's see. So, Maggie, Brandon, do you have your idea? I think I might have mine.
I have mine. I'm
Okay.
going Rebels. That I mean, what Twilight of the Apprentice, right?
Yeah.
That's top tier. You know, that's it. That's the best you can get. We
Oh,
should talk about
absolutely.
Twin Sons earlier, and then it's Twilight of the Apprentice, and that's the two things.
Yeah, I gotta echo that.
So apparently continuing the tradition of Jacob and I continuing to stab each other in the back, apparently. These seasons are pretty equal to me, but there's one thing that puts TCW over the top of Rebels. 2 words, Jacob, and I'm so sorry it had to come down to this. It's not going to happen again, obviously, because Rebels is advancing. 2 words, The Deserter.
Oh, I knew you would say that. It's your favorite episode of the Clone Wars. It's a darn good episode.
It like made me reevaluate how I watch Star Wars.
I have
Like,
It's also got the
Love.
Zillow Beast, by the way.
oh, also the Zillow Beast, which
My friend the Zillies.
yeah, which actually I think I actually like its appearance. I'm more interested in its appearance now in the Bad Batch. Like when it showed up in the Bad Batch, I'm like, holy crap, they're going there.
If you need to read up on this, if you need to read up on the Zillow Beast, head to
Yeah.
StarWars.com and read Zillow Beast 101 by Brandon Nerdy, and you can
Absolutely.
Hey.
There you
Quick
go.
plug down there, yeah.
There you go.
So now we have our first of our second of 3 battles between husband and wife. Maggie and Brandon go
Within
up
the
against each
context of
other.
this, not our second today.
Yes. Maggie's arguing for Andor. And Brandon's arguing for season 3 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Maggie, when you're ready.
All right, hear me out on this. The original Star Wars, part of what makes it so great and what made it have such an impact on culture, the world, is how original it was. I would say that Andor is the most original Star Wars content that we have had since. The fewest ties to what we already know. It takes us to a part of the galaxy we are not familiar with. So even though it has the fewest ties, the fact that it is the most original makes it the most Star Wars-y. And since we're all Star Wars fans here, that inherently makes it the best. Rest my case.
All right. Brandon, season 3 of The Clone Wars.
I'm just gonna. This is gonna be so short. This is gonna be so short. That season 3 has the Mortis arc. It has the Night Sisters. It has Savage. It has maybe the best Star Wars in the Clone Wars in animation in general. And again, let me go back to the Mortis arc. Maybe the greatest arc in Clone Wars history. And there it is. Mortis arc. That's all.
That was
All
a lot
right.
of words to say, 3 words.
If neither of you, I can take it from here. I know which one I'm going for.
Okay.
I think they're probably roughly for me about the same in quality, but what pushes it over the edge is there is more stuff that I like in my Star Wars from the Clone Wars. The Mortis arc, like Brandon said, is one of the best things I've ever seen in Star Wars. And like that and the Night Sister stuff pushes it over the edge for me. I'm going Clone Wars season 3.
I'm going with Andor. I think it's phenomenal. Season 3 of the Clone Wars is great, but I'm not a fan of the Mortis arc.
Whoa.
Hot take.
Hot
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a
Maybe
hot
with that.
take.
There's the other one which I didn't mention before earlier. Am I gonna wait? Did TCW season 4 move on? No, it didn't. Okay,
No.
I was gonna say. I guess now's a good time as any to say that I'm not a fan of the Umbara arc. But
That was uncalled for.
anyway.
Yeah, I
It's very
will say
solid.
that the Mortis arc is great, but there's a lot of other season in that season. And I just think that, Maggie hit it on the head. Andor gave us something that was so different from everything that we've been getting recently. That's not to say it's better or worse than most things, but come on, this is a competition. What's better? What's worse? I'm going for Andor.
Wow.
Andor begins its crusade, and I thought it might start this way.
Get
There
your
are-
bricks ready. The Crusade.
Yeah, there are several seasons that I was sure were gonna advance. Season 3, I was pretty sure about of Rebels, but Andor was absolutely one of them.
Can I do
what's
some
that?
breaking news before we move to the next round?
Yeah.
Just breaking news for this group and for the people watching. I just won an eBay bid that I've been sitting on for days, and I'd like to share it with this group. I'm sure everyone's pumped. It's a vintage industrial light and magic Skywalker sound tote bag. We did it.
That's very cool.
Right.
We did it.
Nice.
Look at
Oh,
that
we
cool
did it.
Skywalker Sound logo. Pristine.
That
Got it.
that is
That's
pristine.
clean.
I might bring it to
that-
celebration. That might be my celebration bag. Just a little. Anyway, sorry to
Yeah,
derail,
that
but
would
Don't worry about it.
but very,
Okay.
very
I think we were at our second to last matchup of round 1. Jacob and Sean are going again. Jacob's doing season 1 of Star Wars Rebels, and Sean is doing season 5 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Okay.
Jacob, whenever you're ready, go.
All right. Look, season 1 of Rebels. Look, it gets dunked on a lot. There's a few moments of janky animation. I'll admit it. But come on, remember season 1 of the Clone Wars? I mean that's fucked up as hell. But come on, people still love it. Like cut Rebels some slack here. Come on, all right. Look, you get the Path of the Jedi, Spark of Rebellion. It's an amazing and heartfelt introduction to Kanan and Ezra. Ezra battling his demons. He communes with Yoda. He builds himself a freaking lightsaber. Call to action is amazing. Kanan versus the Inquisitor on the Star Destroyer. Come on, that's freaking awesome. That's freaking awesome. Ahsoka returns. Look, this might not be the most loved season of Star Wars ever, but we get to know all the Ghost Crew so well, and it gives us such good continuity and emotional intimacy looking at these characters. The development of this family of misfits and survivors who found each other. It's
Time.
found family. It's
Time.
the essence of Star Wars.
Okay, Sean, aim the ball and shoot.
Yeah, so we get started early on in the season, warming up with a few great arcs. The Onderon arc, we get the introduction of Saw Gerrera in animation. That's awesome. We get the Youngling, the Gathering arc, where we get to see them find their freaking lightsaber crystals and build their lightsabers. That's something that we all daydreamed about. Then you get the D Squad arc, which some people don't love, but that's George Lucas's favorite arc of the Clone Wars. So that has some merit to it. And then you top it off with 2 of the best arcs in all of Star Wars, which is the culmination of the Mandalore arc with my personal favorite episode, The Lawless, where we see, epic duels between Sidious, Maul, Savage, and it's just, gut-wrenching. And then the Ahsoka arc where she ends up leaving the Order and tears all of our hearts out. It is phenomenal.
I'll just betray Jacob out of the game and go with Clone Wars season 5.
I knew it. Bound to happen.
I'm also gonna go. A Sunny Day in the Void might be my favorite Clone Wars episode.
A
and
Sunny Day in the Void is so freaking good.
It's
We
so
had a lot of
good.
fun talking about
George,
this
Nice.
episode.
George Lucas agrees, and it's like, what else can you ask for?
Some D Squad stands over here.
You know?
Sunny Day in the Void is great.
I'll be contrarian. Just for Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order is enough for me.
So
I can-
Fair
is
Well
that our
played.
first clean sweep?
Well, no, Maggie went. Maggie
Yeah,
went
no.
to Clone Wars.
Matt,
Clone Wars.
wait, no, wait,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. What did I say?
Yeah, it's a clean sweep.
I'm drunk.
clean
Yeah.
sweep. Wow. Okay.
All right.
Um,
GG, Sean. I
Good game.
understand.
all right, and then our final
business of
matchup
the
of round
game.
1. We go back to Maggie and Brandon.
This is our
All
time.
right.
The one in the one which I think may be the most contentious of our first round ones. Brandon is arguing for season 2 of The Mandalorian, and Maggie is arguing for season 7 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Ooh.
That's tough. Should I go
Spicy.
first?
Yeah. All right, go.
Mandalorian season 1, pretty good, but as we saw, not as good as Clone Wars season 1. Mandalorian season 2 is when it really just kicks off. Everyone just did a rewatch, right, to get ready for season 3. Every single episode, straight bangers, right? And then you get Bo-Katan, you get more Mandalore, and then you're getting just crazy shit with the Darksaber. And then, do we remember Luke Skywalker coming and getting Grogu at the end of season 2? Maybe the greatest moment in my life. And there it was. But also, of course, the return of Boba Fett and that incredible fight on the cliffs. We get so much great stuff Mandalorian season 2, perfect Star Wars.
I'm not gonna lie, this is like one of the first one. Like I had a general idea, I think, of which way I was leaning. For the other ones, and this one is like one of the ones where I'm like, oh no, which one?
Depends
am I
on the
gonna go for
argument.
this
It's gonna
one?
be a good argument,
Yeah,
Maggie. Good
which-
luck.
All
Go
right.
for it, man.
Go.
Ready? Okay. Bad Batch. Everything that has been said in favor of the Bad Batch, consider that here, would not have it without this season. You get a loving story about sisterhood and female friendship. Incredible. But most importantly, you have the Siege of Mandalore, which was the first animated content that ever really pulled me in. We knew where this was heading. We knew that Order 66 was coming. We knew Anakin was turning. But now you have all the layers of all of these characters. The visual of the 501st in Ahsoka paint to the funeral, that piece of content alone makes this the winner for me.
Yeah, this one's incredibly difficult. If anybody, for me at least, if anyone wants to go before me, then totally do that, because
This
I'm
is
still
hard.
trying to figure it out.
This is a hard choice to make, but I think for the Siege of Mandalore and Order 66 alone, I have to go with season 7 of the Clone Wars.
And I will spare you some hardship, Eli, and just say that I agree that I have to go with Clone Wars. Really close, but it's where my gut feeling went. I could easily have picked Mando too, but I'm going Clone Wars.
I like you say that makes it easier for me, but really, like, no matter where, I'm still like legitimately trying to think
You
about
still have
this.
to live with the choice. You still have to,
Yeah,
in your
I
heart,
still
know.
I have to figure out like what choice I'm gonna make.
But you can do it off screen if you want to.
Yeah, no.
You can deal with it in your shower later. It's
Season,
okay.
Yeah, we know that TCW season 7 is gonna win. Yeah, I think by the razor thin margin, I'm gonna also go season 7.
Clean sweep.
Ooh.
Very
I-
well.
I think
Thank you.
yeah.
That's 2 out of 3 for Maggie. Thank you.
Mando season 2 is fantastic. But
It is.
it comes down to some stuff to me, like I feel like the lowest lows for me, at least of season 7, are higher than the lowest lows of Mando season 2. But now we have our round 2 bracket. Round 2, we got some interesting stuff going on. Let me just arrange this here in our sheet so we know what we're doing. I know it's Rebels season 3 versus, so the first one is TCW season 1 versus Rebels season 4. Then it's Rebels season 3 versus Obi-Wan Kenobi. Then it's did we do Rebels or Clone Wars season 2? Clone Wars season no, Rebels season 2. Rebels season 2 versus Andor. And what's the final one? The final one is Clone Wars season 5 versus Clone Wars season 7. Double Clone Wars.
Oof.
Let's get started with our Cinderella story, as Brandon called it earlier, which I think is the most appropriate name. This is our for anybody who's watched our other rec streams, this is the Shmigon of this stream. And that's the Clone Wars season 1. You're going up against the Clone Wars against Rebels season 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to we've talked a lot about Clone Wars season 1. This is the third time talking about it, so let's keep all that in mind. But I want to really hone in on one episode in particular. I think sets the tone for the entire Clone Wars, which is rookies. Again, you think about rookies and you think about what that does for Clone Wars and how important Clone Wars is, humanizing the clone army and humanizing this conflict that we have, and also just creating these characters that we still talk about, that we're still buying hot toys of and action figures and all these things. Like, crazy storytelling in a season that a lot of people discount, but really drives home why Clone Wars is still important today. That's all.
All right. Jacob, whenever you're ready to talk about Rebels season 4.
All right, yeah. Rebels season 4 really reaps the benefit of what the previous 3 seasons have set up. It's really amazing, and I think it's one of the best examples in Star Wars of what happens when you really take the time to flesh out characters. And the season, it just does such a cool job of looking at all these characters, looking at Zeb, Sabine, Ezra, Kanan, Hera, seeing who they are as people, not just as plot devices, but really as people. I mean, there's so much emotional vulnerability, growth, realness in this season. From Ezra and his parents to Kanan and Hera coming to terms with their relationship. I mean, come on, we get Kanera in this season. It's great.
All right. So this is going to be hard for me to say. I actually have to side with my co-host on this one. Season 4 of Rebels does it for me. Against any other season of the Clone Wars, this would require quite a bit of thinking. But yeah, it's season 4 of Rebels for me.
I am also going to go Rebels. For what the stories it closes up, the bows that it ties, but also for all the incredible things that it is setting up for the future. With what we're going to do in Ahsoka and all future storytelling. What happened to Thrawn and Ezra, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, I'm going with Rebels too.
Thanks, Maggie.
Clean
Cinderella
swept.
streak is over. It's okay.
Cinderella story got clean swept. Now we have 2 more crazy seasons of Star Wars television. Sean's going to be arguing first for Star Wars Rebels Season 3, and then I'm going to be making my last stand because it's my last one that I have here with Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, Sean, whenever you're ready.
So we talked about Twin Suns, which I still think is the best episode of Rebels that we've gotten. I will say that my second favorite episode is also in this season, and it is the Trials of the Darksaber. I think that Sabine coming into her own as a Mandalorian, dealing with her past, where she's come from, where she's going, knowing that she needs to be a leader, and her training sequence with Kanan brings me nearly to tears every time I watch it, and I've seen it several times. It is super emotional. The music by the Kiner brothers, which we haven't touched on at all, so good. And it just, it's a phenomenal season of television. It does have Twin Suns as well. It has that epic confrontation with the Bendu as well. So
there we go. All right, Jacob.
Ready when you are. Go for it.
We get to see not 1, but 2 rematches that were fabled since 2005. Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Vader. We get to see the inner turmoil of Obi-Wan struggling to reconcile who he was with who he is now. Ewan McGregor returns to form in seemingly almost effortless fashion as Obi-Wan Kenobi. We also get some really incredible new side characters like Tala Durth or Haj Estri. And not to forget about Reva, who makes what I thought originally would be when described to me originally, a youngling who survived Vader's rampage to get revenge. That sounds like the stupidest idea ever, but they made it work. They made it work because of the stirring performance.
There is your time.
Yep.
I'll go. I got to go Kenobi.
Yeah, same.
It was a lot. I think there's flaws in it, obviously, but I think, like you were saying, it was a prequel fan's dream.
Wow.
And it was very nice to have.
I was honestly not expecting that Obi-Wan to make it this far.
I will save my praise of Rebels Season 3 for people who appreciate true greatness.
I think Rebels Season 3 is great, by the way. Like, did I not vote for it last round?
Kenobi's cool too. Kenobi's cool too.
So, we have our final. Oh wait, no, that's not true. Why was I saying that? Okay, never mind. That was just one side of the bracket. So one side of the bracket is complete. Now we got to get to the other side, at least for the semifinals. Season 2 of Rebels, and then season 1 of Andor. Which is going to be Jacob and Maggie, respectively. Jacob, you're going first. So go ahead.
So in season 2 of Rebels, obviously we have these big moments that everyone talks about. I feel like I don't really have to say too much about Twilight of the Apprentice. It's so fantastic. But really what I think sets this season apart is that there are so many little moments in the middle, so many different episodes where we get so much character development, so many looks at all these characters. You have the Lost Commanders and Relics of the Old Republic. We get to see Rex and Gregor and Wolf come back. Episodes like Stealth Strike, Rex and Kanan, reconciling with their past as clone and Jedi, the feelings of betrayal, all those old feelings, they're still there. We get episodes like Brothers of the Broken Horn, Ezra trying to figure out who he is, coming into his own, dealing with some shady, goofy characters like Hondo.
All right. Okay. Maggie, whenever you're ready.
Okay. To elaborate on Andor, what I think this show does so well is the layers of richness that it brings to the universe. The context that it brings to the original series. You've got Cassian Andor, who eventually the role he plays in setting up A New Hope from Rogue One, and now we see what all the hits that it took to break him down and make him into the man that eventually played such a key role. And the fact that he's just one player that previously we did not know about. It just expands the universe and the cinematic components, the colors, the score, just really opens up the world in a new way.
All right. Sean, Brandon, do you have your ideas, or do you want me to?
I got to go Andor, not to vote for Maggie, as much as it pains me, but I got to go Andor.
I'm also going to go Andor. I think that, it's a really important story, especially even considering where we're at in the real world. I think it was saying a lot of things that needed to be said, and I love that series so much.
As much as I hate to agree with anything my co-host says, I'm going Rebels Season 2. It's not going to matter, but I'm going Rebels Season 2.
Well, Eli, you don't have to worry too much, because I also would have voted for Andor if I was on the outside of this matchup. I have to admit.
Yes, sounds about right. And now we have the Titans that I was referencing last round going up against each other. The Clone Wars seasons 5 and 7. Sean's arguing for 5, and Maggie's arguing for 7. So, Sean, when you're ready.
Yeah, I'll focus on 2 moments. The one being that Maul kills Satine in front of Obi-Wan, and he still doesn't break. He still holds on, and he still, he goes through his ups and downs in life, but he holds on, and all the way to the end, that leads him to the road of the twin sons. So, another exemplary moment, another epic confrontation on Mandalore, but also Ahsoka. She shows her leadership in the Gathering arc as a leader of these younglings, and then decides that when she's wrongfully accused of bombing the Jedi Temple, and that the rest of the Jedi don't trust her, and that it's not for her, she knows enough about herself in that moment to know that she needs to walk away. And that proves that she is one of the best Jedi ever.
All right. Maggie, go ahead.
All right. In addition to everything that has already been said about Clone Wars Season 7, I first want to talk about the animation. When you look at the animation from Season 1 to Season 7, it's just the growth of these characters. You literally see Ahsoka grow up, but also just the evolution of these characters visually, I think, is so important to call out for this season. And I also want to talk about the context, which is the gap before Season 7 and the place that it holds for people who followed the show up until then, and then finally getting to see this final crazy story play out. And I think you also get some of what makes Star Wars, that separates the good guys from the bad guys, and Ahsoka's unwillingness to turn her back on her people, on her guys.
Stop.
She takes the ship down.
Stop. It's over, Maggie. That's crazy. I'm sorry, Maggie. You can't do that.
All right. So
This is very tough.
We got a matchup here. I think I know what I'm gonna say, but anyone else want to start?
Oh gosh, yeah, this is so tricky because on the one hand, you have season 7. You have the Bad Batch arc, which honestly not my favorite. You have the Trace and Rafa arc, which wasn't my favorite at first, but it's grown on me. It's grown on me, but I still don't consider it. At least for me, it's not like a top tier like world shattering arc. But then you have the Siege of Mandalore, which is just, I mean, it's mind blowing. And then on the other hand, you've got season 5. It's got Darth Maul. It's got the younglings. It's got that Sunny Day in the Void. It's got more Darth Maul. It's got Shades of Reason, and then it's got the Ahsoka. Like, I just don't know. It's so like, I just don't know.
Do you want me to say?
Just think more. I'm just walking you through my thought process, but I need time. I gotta bow out.
Sean, you got it or no?
I argued.
Oh, right. I meant Brandon.
Again, it pains me to vote for Maggie, but I cannot vote against Siege of Mandalore and the red logo. Just remembering how I felt watching those every morning was like the best Star Wars experience.
Yeah. I'm very Sean, I'm sorry. # Clone Wars saved. I'm going season 7.
Yeah, I hate to make this a clean sweep. I gotta go for season 7 as well, and it's not for lack of love for season 5, because season 5 is incredible. I mean,
No, I get it.
Obi-Wan, Bo-Katan, Satine, are you kidding me? Those final episodes, like there's so much to love about this season. There's so much to love. I loved Sunny Day in the Void. I love To Catch a Jedi, The Wrong Jedi, that whole there was so much good stuff, and this is it's such an amazing season as a complete package. But I'm just remembering the way I felt when back at first time watching each of those episodes, first time watching that final scene with Darth Vader, the helmet in the snow, that whole I don't know if I've ever been that floored by anything in Star Wars than those few episodes. So for that reason alone, I got to go with season 7 as well.
Fair enough. I tried to swing it my way by dropping an epic confrontation nod into my argument, but
yeah, I was gonna say
all good.
Yeah.
All good.
Good job. So here's what we have. The first battle of the semifinals is gonna be fine, but we've had this happen in other streams before. So for the second half of the semifinals, Maggie would be facing herself. So what we
Maggie
usually
wins.
do is we give one of them to somebody else, and I think it'd only be fair because unfortunately all of the seasons argued by Brandon and Sean have been eliminated. To give it to one of them. You can choose which one you keep, but
Oh, I'm keeping Clone Wars.
you're keeping Clone Wars. So Sean or Brandon, either one of you has got to move.
Sean, you take it. That way, at least there's one in this house, and you can have the other.
All right, so Sean's arguing Andor. But before we do that, Jacob and I go against each other again.
Oh boy.
Rebels season 4 and Obi-Wan. All right, Jacob, go ahead.
All right, look, I've said a lot about this season. It's an amazing season. It's such an intimate look. I want to talk about Jedi Knight, because I think it's one of the most incredible episodes. We get a reversal. It's a callback. It's a reversal to season 1 when Hera risked it all to save Kanan, and now Kanan is risking it all to save Hera. And Hera, in this drug stupor, I'm almost tearing up just talking about her confessing her love for Kanan once and for all. And then, that moment, obviously, when Kanan, sacrifices himself, and then somehow his vision is restored. so that he can fulfill his promise to Hera that he made in season 2 when he says,
Oh, sorry.
we'll see each other again.
Time.
It's
Time.
It's right there.
All right. When Jacob? Yeah.
Sorry, here. Just pull that back up. All right, ready when you are. Start her off.
Vivian Lyra Blair as Princess Leia, the young version, completely carries Carrie Fisher's mannerisms, and she delivers one of the best performances I've seen from a young kid in Star Wars as the young Leia. She absolutely nails the dynamic with Obi-Wan and their adventure across the galaxy to Obi-Wan's adventure to get the daughter of Anakin Skywalker back safely home onto Alderaan is one of the best ideas for this show that I did not think was going to happen. And I thank Disney and Lucasfilm every day for giving us this great adventure. All right, so the bottom half of the screen.
I can go real fast. I got to go Kenobi. I agree with your assessment of Lil Leia. I remember seeing that at Celebration and like not expecting Leia at all, and it also being like pitch perfect. And I'm very glad that happened, and I'm very happy with not only the daughter of Anakin but the daughter of Padme. Right, like really getting to see.
Absolutely.
Incredible, really incredible.
Yeah.
That was my first day of Celebration ever, and it will always hold a special place in my heart. I love little Leia. Gotta go Kenobi.
I am also going Obi-Wan. Favorite character. I love that show for all of its flaws, and little Leia was stunning. I remember watching it as well at Celebration and just being completely shocked by that reveal when they pan over to Alderaan and you're like, oh shit, this is happening.
They're doing it.
There's
The collective breath in the room.
Like, oh my gosh, it was
and the playing of her theme and all. Yeah, holy.
Gotta give it.
Yeah,
to
I cannot. I mean, I'm so glad. I did not expect Obi-Wan to get this far. But to find out what's going to face it, we have Sean and Maggie once again. Sean is doing season 1 of Andor, and Maggie is doing Clone Wars season 7. I will note this very quickly before we start Andor season 1. Sean is only arguing for Andor season 1 in this round. If it proceeds, then it goes back to Maggie.
Oh, I'm going to the finals anyway, baby.
Yeah.
This is low stakes. You can
Sure. Everyone
You're
go with your heart.
All right. Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, so we've talked to some about how it's, revolutionized. It's not revolutionized, but it's added a new genre, a new flair to Star Wars. What we haven't talked about too much is the characters and some of the dialogue. I mean, there are several characters in this show that get entire monologues. Luthen gets a monologue in the underground area that is just like so riveting. Marva and Fiona Shaw's delivery of the speech about what love is to Cassian breaks my heart every time. Andy Serkis as a guest appearance as Kino Loy. I mean, seriously, that was mind-blowing, and Never More Than 12 is one of the standout lines in Star Wars for me now. And then there's, of course, Nemec as well, and Alex Lothar and his whole manifesto and what all that means. Great show.
All right. Maggie, go ahead.
All right, for this argument, I'm going to focus on my love for Ahsoka Tano. And I will admit that when the pandemic started, I did not know who she is. I watched the entire Clone Wars during the pandemic and watched season 7 about in time. There's so many things about her that I think epitomize what so many people love about Star Wars, her loyalty, her conflict, her strength as a Jedi. You see her in the second arc, and in her role in the Siege of Mandalore, her coming back, what that took, the love that the 501st has for her, her exchange with Anakin with the lightsabers, and then in the end, she refuses to battle her friends, even though they are trying to kill her. Her soaring through the sky toward the planet between the spaceships is incredible, and her desire to bury her friends, knowing how it was going to end, heartbreaking.
So I will say this, and I just realized this. regardless of anything that happens in the next few rounds, Maggie is going to be the one invited back for the big
Oh.
bracket stream, because Jacob and I are going to be there regardless.
Hey, perks of the job.
yeah. And this is the farthest I think either of us have actually gotten on any of these so far. I will say we have that one like planned, and I'm like not planned, but like we have the idea of what we want that to be, and that one's going to be Galupshitos. Background characters.
Nice.
But I guess I'll do mine first because I think I'm going to receive some heat. I think I'll be on the losing side of this one. Season 7 of the Clone Wars.
Okay, I'm going Andor. You called it right, at least for me. I think I said I was absolutely floored by the Siege of Mandalore arc, but I felt 95 to 99% as floored at least once in just about every episode of Andor. I can't remember the last time I've been like that hungry for the next episode after watching it each week in a Star Wars show. Like it just blew me away.
Yeah, I have to go Andor as well. It really, that's what I want in Star Wars. It's nice to have so many different flavors of Star Wars, and that adding to the mix is crazy. And funny, because they sent screeners of Andor to us before they moved the release date. You know, they sent it and then they moved it a couple days later. And so for 3 months, I'm just like sitting on
that.
I'm just like, holy shit! Like, and I didn't talk about it, and I was like, I'm just like pulling out my hair. Like, I just need like more people to see this, more people to talk about it. And so I'm so glad that people have seen it and people are talking about it. And people love it. So
I have one formal. I have an apology to make as well on behalf of my own argument. I forgot Mon Mothma mention. And I just wanted to. Absolutely. I realized that as soon as the timer stopped, and I just had to formalize and like announce that I apologize for not mentioning her. Genevieve.
So our final lineup is the 2 most recent Star Wars live action shows. Kenobi versus Andor is our final matchup of the bracket.
Disney is ruining Star Wars. Are you kidding
me? Disney is ruining. Yeah, Disney is ruining Star Wars so much that the last 2 things they made are going up in the final bracket. Yeah, wow. I'll start up this one. Okay, Jacob, you ready?
Ready when you are.
Okay.
Still 45?
Yeah, still 45.
All right.
Goodbye, Darth. The relationship between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker is explored to its peak in this series. We get to see the real pain and trauma Obi-Wan has from losing Anakin to the dark side all those years ago. We get to see the fledgling rebellion in this form as the Path. We get to see a new kind of redemption story with Reva. The emotional arcs in this show are so incredibly strong that for me at least, they negate any like technical things about the show for me. This show has a beating heart of a Star Wars story, and I'm so glad that Deborah Chow and Joey Harold were able to deliver to the extent they were able to. All right. When you're ready, Maggie.
All right. My final argument is a love letter to the women of Andor, starting with Mon Mothma, having her come back and play this role, the complexity of this character and the role that she plays in the Capitol, that she's presenting one way to the public and has this whole understory that she's carrying is incredible. And on the other side, you see Dedra doing the same thing. She is presenting one way to her peers and has this project on the underside, this other objective. You also have Bix, incredible, having women who are again playing to multiple sides, and you get Marva, his mother, the love that carries him through. The women really carry this show for me.
All right, our final fateful matchup.
I'll
Here
start
we
this off.
go.
I know what my vote is.
Yeah,
I gotta vote
know.
for Andor.
Yeah,
It's the essence. It's the essence of Star Wars. Kenobi's the beating heart. Nah, Andor is the beating heart of Star Wars. It's incredible, and it's so timely. And it gets to the essence of Star
specifically
Wars.
push my buttons. I really.
I'm sorry, Eli. I'm sorry. I'm not that, like.
I admire that. I really do.
It just gets to the essence of Star Wars in such a fun way by being so original and so relatively unattached with tie-ins, and yet it's still just like it just gets it, man.
I love Obi-Wan to death, but I'm going Andor.
I was gonna go Andor too, but I was gonna I didn't want to I'm Andor too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wow. So a clean sweep in the final round. And give me a second. I just got this download. Here we go. Officially, Andor has
Look
won.
at that.
Wow.
Good job, Maggie.
Andor has
Good
won.
job, Andor.
Good job, Andor. Good job, Andor.
Good job, Andor. Wow, that is the I thought this might end this way, but I was like, it was only when Andor made it to semifinals. I'm like, okay, we could really be doing this. Great job, everybody. We had some really great mashups here. None of these were easy for me. Some of them were harder than others, but none of them were easy. Wow, that was crazy. We have a little tradition we like to do on Andy Galaxy streams before we wrap up, and that is we have a bit of a game. Jacob, do you have yours or do you not have yours?
No, I forgot. I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll get some more. All right. So, let's see. Since Jacob didn't do it, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. This will actually work better. Maggie, Brandon, do you want to be on the same team for this, or do you want to be on opposite teams?
What do we've
Let's
been
be on the same team.
Yeah, we've been opposing for an hour.
So
let's bring it back.
We're bringing it back.
So Jacob and Sean, you're a team now, and Maggie and Brandon, you're a team.
So let's do this.
This is a game called 6 Degrees of Star Wars. It's based on the Kevin Bacon game. You have to connect the Star Wars characters in as few connections as possible, face-to-face interactions. So I
say that again. So they have to have. It's not like actors or anything. It's like
no, it's in universe in face-to-face interactions. So here's the first one. The first one, all these are funny to me. First one.
Do we just shout these out, by the way,
or do we? Is it like one?
How do we do it in teams and not shout out over each other?
Yeah.
Maybe actually, I have an idea. Maybe you could like communicate oh, I can do it in this many. I can do it in this many.
Maybe we'll go on mute.
Yeah.
That's tough for y'all because y'all aren't in the same room.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Maybe you guys could just take your earbuds out or mute yourself, mute your volume or something.
Yeah.
And then we wave and you come back or something. I don't know.
Okay, we'll figure it
out.
out.
All right. Okay. So so the first 2 characters you're trying to connect. One of them is from the winning show of this bracket, Kino Loy.
Okay.
Kino Loy and Queen Julia of Bardata.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. All right.
So we're just competing to who can get it in the smallest amount of connections.
In the least amount of connections. Yeah.
Okay. Can definitely do it in 4.
Yeah, I'm at 4 as well.
Actually, I'm gonna see.
Damn, if someone can get it in 3, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow, this is I haven't thought of these, so I'm trying to do them as well. So we could do.
Is there a time limit? Like, how is this?
No, just
Y'all go with your 4. And
I can't do it in
I
less
don't
than
know.
5. So
I don't know what Jacob's thinking.
I know,
I've
I'm
got
having
it.
I'm having difficulty because my memory of the disappeared or the Jar Jar arc is a little foggy, so I can't quite remember who talked to who in that episode.
Julia's basically 3 interactions in that entire arc are with Jar Jar, Mace Windu, and Mother Talzin.
right.
Any connection to her is going to be one of those 3 people. Yeah, I'm interested to see because I haven't.
Oh, maybe I can't do them 4.
I think I'm stuck at 5 because I don't know how we're counting it. And maybe let's just talk through it. I guess 'cause there's only
Yeah.
3, but it's because you go
We're
Kino
counting our
and
jumps.
Andor is the linchpin, right? Andor is the only
Yeah.
person that
You have to go through Andor.
and then I was going through Saw,
Oh,
I guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
good, yeah.
You know, and then with Saw, you can go like Ahsoka to Mace. You know what I mean?
oh. See,
Like-
I was going from Andor, Kino to Andor to Mothma,
Mm-hmm.
and then Mothma to Jar Jar. But I'm realizing that I don't think that they met. Or
That's
are
interesting
on
though, because
screen
they
at the
had
same
to.
time.
They're both
I just pulled
senators.
up.
I think you're right. No, I
I
think
just
you're
pulled
good.
up the deleted scene, and I can't see Jar Jar in this deleted scene with her.
Mm.
Ooh.
Has
Um,
Mon Mothma
has
interacted
Mace
with Jar Jar? Binks?
Has Mace Windu and Mon Mothma in the Clone Wars ever come face
I
to
don't
face?
think
I don't
so.
think so. So I think you have to do an extra step where you go like Padme to Jar Jar or Ahsoka, or not.
Oh,
Ahsoka,
wait,
but I think it has to go
wait,
through
wait.
Padme to Jar
If you
Jar.
go
Wait,
Jar
wait.
Jar,
Wait. Oh wait,
Obi-Wan.
I just thought of something.
Was it? Gosh, that's actually a good question.
I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm gonna.
No, you can say it. I think we both kind of blew our. We kind of
Yeah.
like.
The cards are on the
time.
table. The
Yeah.
cards are on the table. This is hard. We have to work together.
I got it in 5. I mean, like I'm including all of
Yeah.
like how many characters are in it. So those were both 6, but
Yeah, you
I
did
think I got it in 5. Julia, Jar Jar, Bail Organa, Cassian.
Oh,
That's good. That's good.
Because of that one episode with shout out to Alden Diaz here, King Katunko.
That's true. Oh my god, that's true. That's a very underrated episode with the
Supply lines.
Ryloth,
Supply lines.
and I'm a Gun Dies Last Stand. That's a very
last
underrated episode. I
R.I.P.
love
to a
that episode.
legend. Okay, here's the second one I have. I only have 3 of these. So the second one, this is the fun one I just thought of. First one is the first character is very concerned if you've removed your helmet, and that's the armor.
Okay.
The armor, and I think one of my favorite characters in this new season of the Bad Batch, Benny.
Benny. Oh man. Hold up. I know it just came out, but I'm trying to remember something about that episode with Benny.
Pretty much the only people who wait, is that after? Oh yeah, because you can't that makes it even trickier, I just realized, because Benny and Echo never met.
So that's what I was about to Google was that before or after?
It was after, because
After
the episode
the leak.
before
Okay, so that
Benny's
definitely makes it
episode
harder.
was the crossing, where it was all about Echo leaving.
Right.
Yeah.
This is tough.
I got it in my answers down to 5, but
can't
Yeah, I
remember
have
this.
I have 5, but I don't. I think I could. We can just. Do you want to talk through it again? Let's just. We can, because Benny, who he talks to Omega, right? Did he talk to the entire? Is the entire Bad Batch on that?
yeah, I think so.
Right, like
Hunter Record Tech, yeah. My path is actually through Omega.
that's I had Omega, and then I start Din at the top, right? I have armor to Din, and then I'm trying to figure out like, is it Ahsoka? Is it like?
Yeah. There's actually, so my path is almost identical to that, and there's one person in between, and as soon as you figure out, you're gonna be like, oh yeah.
Yeah. And I guess is it Rex? Is the other?
It's not Rex.
Oh, Rex does work though.
Yeah.
Yeah, armor.
So are you
Din,
counting?
and
Are you
Ahsoka,
counting
Rex.
5 as in 5 characters? Or
5 characters.
connections?
5 characters.
Five
including the armor and
characters.
including Benny, or
Including the
Oh,
armor and
damn.
including Benny. 5 characters.
Hmm.
Tonwi.
I wish Tommy was in the Mandalorian.
Only there was. I shouldn't say this.
Because he's not
I
in
just-
that.
If only there was a character who was in both the Mandalorian and the Bad Batch. If only.
Oh,
Oh, fucking Fennec.
Master Assassin Fennec Shand.
Of course. How did I?
Yeah, that's it.
fun. All right,
That's
what's,
good.
What's
Good,
number 3?
Eli.
This is good. I like the. It's like I feel like I'm in school. And we're all just trying to like do a little group project.
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Balancing
This
some
last one
equations or something.
is the last one is actually exclusively from the films, from the beginning and ending respectively of the Skywalker saga. Babu Freak and Sebulba.
That's easy. It's C-3PO, right?
Have C-3PO and Sebulba actually interacted though?
They
He-
were.
didn't
in the
he
same
stayed on
space.
the
Like he was repairing the pod racer, right? Like he.
That one's a tough one.
he was
because
at the race. for
they were
sure.
in the
He was
same
the
place at
flag
the
bearer,
same time.
he
He was the
but,
flag
like,
bearer, so he
he was the-
definitely he was definitely on screen at the same
He
time.
was
as-
in like when they come in on the Eopies, right? He's in the arena when Sebulba was getting massaged, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait,
That's
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. There.
it's
that was
it's
nice.
they obviously don't speak to each other if that's,
That's
a word.
good though.
Yeah, that's
C-3PO is a little bit of a cheat code though in Star Wars, right? 'Cause he's
oh
just-
yes,
he's
Yeah,
the
everything.
droids are the
It's
droids and the
the
Skywalkers
3PO
are
saga.
Yeah.
the droids and the Skywalker twins are the ultimate cheat codes. Both
Yeah.
of them. R2-3PO, Luke and Leia are like your ways out of everything in here.
Except
Yeah,
the first two.
yeah, except for with Benny. Benny doesn't take crap from anybody. Yeah, that's all I have for that. Thanks for everybody who popped in on the stream and also to our guests. Brandon, Maggie, you want to plug where we can find all your stuff?
Yeah, Talking Bay 94 is where you can find me. Maggie just stolen valor here.
Also talking Bay 94, but Bay with an E.
But yeah, we have just an episode with Brendan Wayne, The Mandalorian, which was really great. And then this week is Leilani Shu, who plays pretty much every Jawa in every show, including Obi-Wan. She's Tika in Obi-Wan. So really fun. And then we'll be at Celebration London. We have a panel on Easter. I have a panel on Easter. Maggie might pop in. And that'll be fun as well. So if people are in London, please stop by.
Yeah. So yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Room Sean, and I also do a podcast called Bogus Cantina. We've been on hiatus for a little while. Real world stuff has gotten in the way. You know how it is. But we'll be probably getting back to that soon. I will also be at Celebration London, so feel free to say hi. I'll meet up with you guys, Brendan and Maggie. But yeah, thanks so much for having us on, guys.
Yeah, this was
Thank
fun.
you so
This was
much for
great.
coming on. This was a blast.
Thanks for coming on. I wish I could say either of us are going to be at London, but we're unfortunately not.
We'll be there in spirit.
Yeah, we will be there, and we will be there in spirit. Our hearts will be in not only in London but also in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, for Scotty J. Rose wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Because shenanigans are going to happen there, no matter what we say or do about it. But yeah, you can find In a Galaxy at In a Galaxy Pod on Twitter, at Star Wars In a Galaxy on Instagram. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. We'll be there. We're currently on our normal show. We're currently we just finished recording season 12 of In a Galaxy, which is about Star Wars droids. We just finished watching droids for the first time, and that was a very interesting season of television to go through. When do you say, Jacob?
Oh yeah.
I think. Oh yeah. Also, the only other live content that we do other than In a Galaxy streams is our trivia show, Epic Confrontations. We're going to be releasing our next match on Epic Confrontations. I believe it's going to be two and a half weeks from now. We're still working out the details of the main event, but the undercard is, and I can pull this up, and I'm so excited, a Legends trivia match between Jared the Dark Jedi and Alden the Iconoclast Diaz. We recorded this. This was so much fun to record. This was so much fun to write. This has been in the works for quite a long time, and I can't wait for everybody to see that and see our other matches. They're all posted on our channel. But I think until next time, then, may the Force be with you always.